Hey guys, welcome back to my page. So it is my 2 year anniversary, you guys. Well, it was yesterday, and I can't believe that it slipped past me. Like yesterday came and it went, and then I got up today and I realized, like, oh my gosh, I missed my 2 year anniversary. It's been 2 years since I've been living in Los Angeles, you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, 2 freaking years. I cannot believe I've been here for 2 whole years in LA, you guys. How fast does time go by? It is freaking amazing. And I moved out to LA January 27th, 2016, you guys. January 27th, 2016. So yesterday was actually my 2 year anniversary living in Los Angeles. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so busy yesterday, I didn't even realize it. I actually had to do a client intake yesterday. So I don't know, it slipped my mind. I'm like, how did it slip my mind? And I realized, like, wow, it's been 2 years. So I kind of want to do a quick video to talk to you guys briefly about my experience so far living out here in Los Angeles, California. And it's just like, how the hell did I end up here? Like, I sometimes I ask myself, like, how did I end up here? Why am I here? Right? But I'm a kind of person, I like to explore. I like to, being that I don't have any kids, I like to just be able to get up and just go and just fly across the country and do something different, right? So moving from New York, I was in New York. Not that there's anything wrong with New York. Hi, Fred. Not that there's anything wrong with New York, but, I actually love it, and I'm moving back pretty soon. I love New York. Like, I still have over half of my stuff is still in New York. So I love it. But I made the decision to move in 2016. I had finished my master's program out there, and I kind of was in a situation where I needed to just do something different and needed to just get away. I needed a break, from something. And so I packed my bag. I only had one bag, actually. I packed a very small bag, very small luggage bag, and I booked a flight. Yo, happy anniversary. Thank you, Fred. I booked my flight, got on the plane, and I was in tears. I was sad. Like, it was a sad moment for me because I'm like, I'm leaving New York. Leaving New York. It was so sad, but you guys, it was something that I felt like I had to do. I felt like I needed to do at the time. And I did it. And I got my ass on the plane and in my tears. And I didn't even have the thing about it, you guys, like, I was broke. I didn't have money. And I got myself on a plane. I didn't have a destination, y'all. Like, who does that? I didn't have arrangements. Like, I just said, I am going to LA. Now, there's more to the story that I really can't share with you guys right now. I'm going to come back and talk to you guys about it later, but I want to so bad. I'm like, I can't share that part of the story, but I can say this much that, I needed to get away. I needed it, and I had really no other choice. And so I landed. I landed in Burbank, California, you guys, and it was amazing. I think it was at night. I landed Burbank, California at night, y'all, in the middle of the night, dark. And I'm like, where the hell am I going to go? Where am I going to go? I leave the airport and I'm walking and I don't have much money. And you guys, I got on the next bus. I saw a bus that went by and I was like, okay, this bus has to take me somewhere near some kind of hotel or some place where I can stay because this isn't going to work. I can't stay out here. And so I got on the first bus that I saw, the closest bus from Burbank Airport. And the bus ride was kind of weird because I had no idea where I was going. And I was talking to the bus driver and I was like, so do you have any idea as to where I can find a place to stay? Because I don't know where I'm going to stay. And he was like, yeah, Hollywood has some places that you can stay that, are affordable. And we went to Hollywood. Like the bus took me to Hollywood. I'm like, wait, we're going to Hollywood? He was like, yeah, it goes to Hollywood. And we get to Hollywood and I'm like, wow, this is Hollywood. I was amazed to see what Hollywood looked like, in person. And it was nighttime, so it wasn't really much to see. Um, Everybody was like, I guess, sleeping. Maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe like 1 o'clock at night, two, three. It was in the middle of the night. And so I ended up finding a place. I got off in Hollywood, Hollywood Boulevard, and I found a place to stay. And what do you know? 2 years later, I'm here, you guys. Now, I know that's kind of fast, right? I didn't tell you guys like how do I get into the place I'm in now, but finding an apartment, I felt like it was a challenge. Like I got dropped off, I stayed at this place for a while, and then I'm like, I can't stay there too much longer. I have to have my own place. I need my own place, and so I ended up getting a place. But like I said, it wasn't easy. I don't think it was easy finding a place. And granted, I'm used to the fast-paced lifestyle. Like I lived in New York for a couple years, so I definitely get what it feels like to try to find an apartment in an oversaturated market, right? Where like everybody, you got like 20 applicants to one apartment. I know exactly what that's like. It's very competitive, very aggressive, right? And so I came from that in New York, and then coming out here to LA, it was like it wasn't so much that you had that number of people to one apartment, but the market, I mean, still competitive. They have high prices, for apartments, which I kind of got used to. I kind of expected, so I wasn't really so thrown away by that. I'm just like at this point, I'm like, I just need my own place. I don't care. I got the money. Here's the money. I need my own place, right? And it worked out, and I found this place that nice spot in Hollywood, and it's not too far from Hollywood Boulevard. And I don't know, I like it. I've been living here for 2 years. I'm like, wow, I've been here for freaking 2 years. I love this neighborhood. Like, I don't think nothing can convince me to live anywhere else in LA. Like, I'm just stuck and married to Hollywood. I don't know. It's something about it. It's something about the vibe of the neighborhood. And it kind of reminds me of New York. And being that I was living in New York, I got used to living there. It kind of just makes me feel right at home somewhat. So I like my neighborhood. When I first moved out here to LA, though, it was quite interesting. It was different. I felt like it took a while for me to adapt, to adjust, because I felt like everything was just moving so slow. And the people were really laid back. They were so friendly and wanted to socialize with you and get to know you and talk to you. And that was just different. Like I feel like in New York, people are very social, but it has a purpose. It serves a purpose, in terms of maybe like networking and business and something like that. But here it's just like people want to know, like, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Where do you live? Where you go to school? And you're like, wait a minute, who are you? So it was definitely different in that respect. I made a video a while back, and I talked about like the difference between LA and New York in terms of transportation and food. So I'm not really going to go too much into detail about that, but there are definitely some differences I noticed, like living in LA compared to living in New York. One of the most obvious is the difference in food. Where do you find food to eat out here in LA? Like, the food is different. The culture is different. It's like everybody is on this skinny girl thing. Everybody want to be fit and in shape and count their calories and carbs and stuff. So that affects the the food choices in terms of restaurants and what kind of food they serve. And it's just different. It's a different taste. I feel like they don't really have good taste of food out here in LA. So finding food can be a challenge, but there are places out here, obviously that have good food. I've, been to a few restaurants out here, like they have Bossa Novas. Of course they have the Roscoe's chicken and waffles, and they have another like mom and pop soul food places that I love, Caribbean style food too as well, like Jamaican food and the jerk chicken and curry chicken. So they do have that out here, but it's more like South LA. So I gotta go and travel to like Crenshaw, or Inglewood area just to get that kind of food because I can't get it out here in Hollywood. Like it's not out here in Hollywood, but I don't know. I guess, eventually learned to adapt to, the options that I do have and just accept it for what it is. So, but overall, like, it takes a while. I remember like when I first moved here, the same year that I moved here, I actually hosted the third annual Ubawa Book Convention. For you guys who don't know, I am the founder of Ubawa, which stands for Urban Books, Authors and Writers of America. It is a nonprofit literary organization, designed to promote self-published underrepresented authors. And so we hosted the third annual Ubawa Book Convention out here in LA. And it was great. I hosted it the same year I moved out here, so 2016. And we hosted it in a very nice area. It was in Woodland Hills, so it was like kind of north. I think that's in like the Valley area. It was a nice turnout. You guys can go watch clips from the Bible Book Convention on YouTube right now if you want to. You can just come back to this video. Or even go to the website. It's at ubawa.org, spelled ubawa.org. But it was really nice. It was a third annual convention. The first one was hosted in Atlanta, Georgia, and the second one was in New York. This year, you guys go visit the website because we have the dates posted and the locations posted, so you guys can go check that out. A lot of people have registered, but that's a whole nother topic, so I really get on here to make a video about that. But I just wanted to say that LA was, it's a great place to do many different things. And so being that, I was able to find a nice location to host an event for my organization. It's just awesome. What else? I mean, LA, like I said, it takes some time because I remember that's what I was going to say. I remember like when I went to go do interviews to hire people, I needed staff to help me host the convention and to, put together the convention or whatever, like the host and all the other people that I hired. I remember interviewing hosts, and one of the persons that I interviewed, she's from New York, and she had been, at the time that I interviewed her in 2016, she had been in LA for 2 years. And I was asking her about her experience and how she liked it. And she was like, it took some time for it to grow on her. She really did not like LA. Like she was saying how 2 years living in LA and it's still taking time for her to get adapted. She just didn't like it. I'm like, really? You don't like it? Now, at the time when I move, of course, I'm like head over heels because I think that's just how I am with any new place I go visit or go to. Like, I like just getting to explore and getting to check out a place. So for me, it was exciting just me being new to LA. And I was asking, I was like, so how do you like LA? And she was like, yeah, I don't like it. Like she actually hated it. And I think I noticed that you get that from a lot of New Yorkers, like native New Yorkers, and she is a native New Yorker. Like she said that she just really didn't like LA. So I wonder, I haven't talked to her since. She actually was the host for our convention, where she actually hosted and conducted the panel. And she interviewed the authors on the panel at the book convention. So she was great. You guys, I can't wait to release the videos. We are in the process now of getting the documentary edited, the Bible documentary edited. So that is going to be a part of the documentary, the footage and the different video clips that we see, at the Bible Book Convention. So you guys do have something to look forward to. I can't wait to share it with you guys. So you guys will be able to see her in that. But she was phenomenal. Like she's beautiful. She's beautiful, very beautiful African American woman who was the host for the Bible Book Convention. Just beautiful. And she was like, I don't like LA. So I mean, and she's not the only person. I mean, I've gotten that from a lot of people, who have moved here to LA, and they're like, it takes some time, I guess, to just get used to it, for it to grow on you, especially coming from a city like New York City. So that's all I wanted to say, you guys. Like, I'm so excited because I feel like there are so many great things ahead for me coming up in the next few months. Like, some things I can't talk about, some things I can. Well, one of the things I can talk about is my new organization that I'm about to launch in next month, February 1st for Black History Month. And I cannot wait. Like, I am just about to freaking lose it and go crazy because I can't wait to share it with you guys. Like, I've put a lot into this organization, and the website is being built right now as we speak. So I just can't really wait to share it with you guys. I think you guys are gonna love it. Like, the mission is phenomenal. It's gonna, I think, bring a lot of positive change within the African American community. So mark my word, you guys. Mark my word. When it gets released, like, you guys can come back and watch this video and see that you guys saw it first. You heard it first here in this video. So I can't wait. That's just one of the things, but I have so much planned ahead. And I was just talking to one of my friends, and I was saying, like, 2018 is my year that I'm going to go ahead and release some freaking books. You guys know that I am a writer. I'm an author, and I have pieces of my work like on my website. So you guys, it's already, some of my work is already published, online, but for you guys to actually have a tangible copy of my work, that's so invaluable. And I feel like I owe it to you guys. And I've been procrastinating. Like, I haven't put out any books physically. And I'm like, I am going to give it to you guys. I owe you guys this. So I do have a couple books, that I do plan to release this year. And, all you got to do is go to my website at danielleleach.com. It's my name. And all of my books are available for pre-order. And they are free to you guys who get them first. You guys can get to review them. They're advanced copies. So what you're going to do when you get the copy of the book, for you guys who are lucky enough to get a free copy of one of my books, you guys get to check it out and talk about it and share with your friends and say all kind of nasty crap about it and say how much you hated it or how much you loved it. Thanks, Karen. I'm so excited. Like, 2 years living in LA. It is so amazing. And I'm glad that you guys have a chance to be a part of my journey. I've been able to still do vlogs and still keep you guys a part of this whole thing, my whole experience living out here in LA. Since I've been here, like, I was a film student for a period of time. I was a graduate film student, and that was awesome. I've made several, I would call them pre-visuals. So they give my crew members, my production team, an idea of what my vision is for my films. But I've made several of those, and they are posted on my website at danielleleach.com. I did those all in film school. So I have my hand in a lot of different pots, and a lot of different industries. I'm not just a part of the healthcare industry, working to become a clinical psychologist, but, I'm a part of the entertainment industry, the literary industry. Like, I have my hands in a lot, and not just that, but politics as well. So staying busy for me works, and I love LA. I always tell my friends, like, LA has a lot to offer, you guys. It has a lot, and I haven't even began to touch the tip of the iceberg yet. Like, I haven't began to even touch the surface yet. Like, there's so much LA has to offer. And not just LA, but California. The freaking state is humongous, you guys. I feel like every time I get on here and to talk to you guys about LA and my experience living here, like, I feel like I'm missing out. I'm missing something because it's always something special. So feel free to ask questions if you guys are watching and you would like to know anything that you want to know about LA. I'll give you guys time right now to ask some questions. If not, I will go ahead and end the video, because I do have work tomorrow. I'm a hardworking woman. But no, I'm a second year PhD clinical psych student. So as part of the requirement for the PhD, we have to complete a certain number of hours. So we go through like rotations. How medical doctors, they go through rotations and they get experience in different aspects of medicine. We also get to get our hands wet and get experience in many aspects of clinical psychology. And so Karen says, I just love your spirit. Thank you. I try to stay positive. That's what works best for me. But, we get to get experience in many different aspects. So, working with different populations and in psychology can be quite interesting. Right now, my first group of clients that I am seeing, they are adults with intellectual disabilities and severe mental illness. I've never worked with adults with developmental disabilities or intellectual disabilities. So I find it to be quite a challenge, you guys, like quite a challenge. I work with children, I work with adolescents, I work with foster care kids, I work with juvenile sex offenders, I work with adult sex offenders, I work with the whole gamut, people with addictions, I work with criminals who are court ordered to go to treatment, all kinds of people in psychiatric hospitals who, are suicidal. But I've never worked with adults with intellectual disabilities. And so being that the focus that where I'm at now is that population is a very particular population. I'm learning so much, you guys, like so much. What is one of the biggest difference in LA from the East Coast? The biggest difference I would say is the people. That's, I think, the most obvious difference. The people, the mannerisms, just things are a lot slower. I think it's a good thing because even people who are natives of New York say it's good to get away from New York. Like, it feels good when you live in there, you like the culture, you like the vibe of the city, you like the fast-paced life and the opportunities that the city provides. But at the same time, sometimes that can be so overwhelming. It can be so overburdening. So you want to kind of take a break from that and be able to get away from that and just excel. And coming to LA, it gives you the opportunity, and the people, I think, in New York, is not that they are not friendly. They just express it differently, so, you'll get people that have a conversation, but it's going to sound different. The pacing is going to be different versus here. People are super friendly. They are welcoming. They like to hold conversations. They'll talk to you. They want to be your friend. People, when I say friendly, that means they want to make friends. They want to get to know you. They want to hang out with you. They ask you what are you doing tonight? I don't know if it's because I'm in Hollywood and the neighborhood I live in is more of a party, touristy type of neighborhood. So everybody is just wanting to have fun and get into something, I guess. So I think that's one of the main differences that I've noticed between LA and the East Coast. But yeah, it's different. It's different. Like living, I can't emphasize it enough how different the West Coast is compared to the East Coast. It is, especially I think it's California. California being that it's a different state. It has different laws. It feels like a different country, literally. And I tell people, I make the joke all the time that it feels like I'm living in Mexico, because there's so many Mexicans out here. It's a lot of Hispanic people out here. And it's almost like they run things. And it presents a different feel, I think, from an African American perspective, because it just feels like, it's something that you don't, I guess, see often in other places. You have Spanish people there or Latino people, they're usually the minority along with African Americans. But out here, Latino people are the majority. So they run everything really well. I would have never thought that. Never thought that people are friendly out here. It is completely different. It's like a different law. It's a different everything. Look, weed is legal out here. And it's amazing when people are from the East Coast where weed is illegal and they come out here and it's a shock. I was shocked. Just to walk down the street and you see people smoking weed in front of the police and it's just like, it's nothing. They don't arrest people for that because what's the point? It's legal. You know, at the time when I moved here, it was legal for medicinal purposes. But the funny thing about it is that everybody has a freaking medical card, you know? So then they recently legalized it for recreational purposes. So now it's like everybody pretty much has access to it. And I find it to be quite ironic. In California, you have people that are 18 years old, they can buy marijuana, but they cannot buy cigarettes because tobacco is illegal in California. So a lot of different weird things like that. You know, it's just it's different, it's weird, being that I think people underestimate the impact that legalization of marijuana can have on a society, but it makes a huge difference. You guys, just looking at the difference, people, there are so many people walking around high and smoking, and it just creates a totally different culture, you know, where it's almost as if, I wouldn't say lawless, but it feels that way in a way. It just feels like people kind of get a little bit more freedom to be different, to do different things. You know, the law in California is just different out here. So it works for me. I like it. But like I said, I am getting ready to move back to New York pretty soon. How soon, I can't really say. But, you know, it's happening. I'm in the, you know, in the middle of a program now. So I can't just pick up and leave. But I do have plans to move back to New York. And time is just going by really fast anyway. So before you guys know it, like, I'll be doing videos from New York City. And I'll be like, hi guys, I'm in New York. But who knows? I might be in Africa soon. Like, I was just talking to a friend, like, I need to get my passport. That's another goal that I want to achieve. And you guys have any more questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to ask some questions. If you have any questions you want to ask about just my experience in living in LA and what it's like just being out here in LA, it is different. I mean, I encourage anybody who has never been, because when I moved out here in 2016, it was my first time coming. I have never visited LA ever. And I just came out here blind, like blind faith. And I was like, I'm going to LA. I'm going to the other side of the country. And I feel like by me not having kids, I can do that. I can pick up and just go. You know, other people can't just pick up and go, but I can do that. Like, I can literally pick up and just book a flight and go anywhere in the freaking world I want to go. You know, and I'll do that, you know, without telling anybody. I don't know. I do things like that, but that's, you know, I feel like when you want to make things happen, that's how you have to move. You have to just get up and you have to do it. You know, if it's something you want to do, you just have to do it. You know, nothing could get in my way and tell me I couldn't do it. You know, I just had in my mind that I'm going to do something different. And the time, you know, where I was going through at the time, like, I kind of had to in a way. And I just did. I got up and I was like, going to LA. You know, I ain't know shit about LA, but I feel like I'm an adult. I know how to maneuver through life, and I can stand on my own 2 feet, and I can handle it. And you know, I've been here 2 years, and you know, I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing it. It's like, it is what it is. You know, it's not impossible. I think people are afraid about the rent too. I think so. If you talk about like difference between East Coast and LA. Well, when I came here, I moved here from New York. So I'm from the South though. So moving from New York, it wasn't much of a difference in terms of like cost of living. I didn't really notice like, okay, much of a difference because New York is kind of pricey and so is LA. The difference kind of that I do notice sometimes is in the food. So the food, I think in New York, the cost is cheaper than LA. You know, LA, you'll be at a restaurant and they're going to get $30 about you. But in New York, you can get away, you know, with paying $10 and get you a good plate of food. So, yeah, I feel like, because it's more diversity, like in food there. It's more diversity just across the board in New York City. And so when in terms of cost of living though, like depending on what part of the East Coast you live, it's gonna be a difference. So I warn people like I have unspeakable kind of crazy faith. Like I don't know. I feel like I definitely wouldn't encourage just any and everybody just to say, all right, just pack up and just come to LA and boom, everything gonna work out. Like because we talking about expensive stuff here, and you got people that do that and they end up homeless. So I don't want nobody to end up homeless because they just, you know, somehow thought that things were going to, fall into place for them. Because I've seen a situation where that happened. Like there was a YouTuber and she was really popular at the time. Her name is Tanya TKO. She's actually she's from New York, and I think she moved to LA from Brooklyn. And her idea was that she's gonna come to LA, and like a lot of people think they're gonna get big or famous and things gonna get popping for them. A lot of people move to LA like to become to join the entertainment industry. So they want to be models, they want to be actors, actresses, they want to somehow get on TV. And I think that's what she wanted to do. She, being that she had her own YouTube channel and she had a following, a relatively kind of sizable following. She had over 100,000 subscribers. And I guess she thought by moving to LA, like her goal was that she wanted to create a television. She wanted to actually get a space on a network and have her own television show. And it didn't kind of get popping like she thought it was, I guess. And maybe her funds, what she had saved up, was beginning to run out. And I think that's another issue because you got people, I've seen videos, you guys, where people will move to LA, right? And of course, they have a certain number of dollars saved up. Now me, I ain't had shit. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like I literally moved out here with $50 in my bank account, y'all. Like that's a whole nother story. I'll talk about it in another vlog. But you got people that will move out here and they'll have, an okay amount. And they may have 4,000, 5,000. You gotta have several thousand in your account. I definitely would not recommend anybody to come out here and they talking about, well, I only got $50 or I only got, $1,000. Like that's some big faith right there. Like that's some, you really gotta, get to the ground running, hit the ground running when your ass get here for real. But because of how are you gonna survive? Like just being realistic, how are you gonna survive? And I've seen it where people move out here thinking, okay, they're gonna have things lined up. They think that things somehow they got this idea like things just gonna fall into place. Like everything, they think, okay, if it's God's will, everything gonna fall in place. And you get here and realistically, it may not be that way. Like you may not, whatever offer you thought you was gonna get or whatever thing you thought was gonna fall through, it may not fall through for you like that. And so now you're only working with this limited amount of money that you have in your account, whether it's $3,000, $4,000. And guess what? It's going to keep getting eaten up. It's going to get eaten up. Why? Because it costs. Like, it costs. Some people think that living in LA is like living in the South where you can get away with paying $500 to a landlord a month and you good. No, baby doll. Even if you in South LA or South Central, or the hood as they call it, like those landlords still collecting like $1,200 a month minimum. You get what I'm saying? Minimum or whatever. I live out here in Hollywood. I'm paying close to $2,000 a month. Like my rent is like $1,800, $1,830 to be exact. So you definitely have to have income or know that you're going to have some source of income coming in. You get what I'm saying? Now, you can move out there like that or move out here like that if you know, okay, well, I got this set up. You get what I'm saying? Where I got something coming in. So I just warn people because that, I would say, would be the main difference, moving from the East Coast, especially you talking about like South, because I know the South is a lot cheaper than living in the North. People that live like even in DC is kind of pricey. And you look at the cost of the apartments, it's not much difference than New York City. So it just depends, I guess, on what part of the East Coast you're coming from. If you used to, spitting out $2,000 a month for housing, then come on to LA because that's pretty much the range you're going to be spending. And even that's for renting, right? That's apartments. But if you, let's say you want to buy a home, good luck trying to find a house under $1 million. I know in the South, it's not uncommon for people to be able to buy a house that's priced at, 200 grand or 250 grand, 300 grand. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, because out here in LA, yeah, these homes, if you want a nice home, even just a basic single family home, I mean, you gonna come out the pocket, a minimum $1 million, like, and then it just goes up from there. Like, it costs money. So down payment, you talking about shit, $250,000 is just down payment on a home to buy a home out here in LA. But people want to be out here in LA because we know the weather is nice. Like, even now, it doesn't even feel like winter. It's pretty nice weather. The scenery is nice. There's a lot going on here. It's a very vibrant city. There's a lot of events. We have the Oscars coming up. So many things that come here. The BET Awards, it's like a lot to get your hands involved in. And especially if you are an artist, this is like the perfect place. Like, I was talking to my nephew and he's wanting to get into music. And I'm like, dude, this way your ass need to be, Like, in certain industries, there are certain locations in the country where it's just best fertile ground for you to grow. So we have the music industry right out here in LA. You're surrounded by studios like galore. The film industry lives out here in LA. This is where the film industry lives. So what that means is that you have gazillions of studios, just surrounded by studios everywhere you go, especially where I'm at, like in the areas of Hollywood, Universal City, and Burbank, which is like where I live, my surrounding area. It's a whole bunch of studios. I can't count. It's probably, I don't know. That has to be at least 100 studios within this area, this geographical area. And with that, comes a lot of people just in the industry, period, from producers, directors, writers, like set designers, everybody, who involved on the production of a film. You have so many people like that live in this area. So you're surrounded by creatives. You're surrounded by people who like what you like, who are into what you like. It's like, how can you not thrive if you are just surrounded by it? It's not to say that you can't be exposed to it. Let's say if you live in Florida, if you live in Georgia, or some other state, but it's not going to be as prevalent. Whereas here, it's just becomes part of everyday life, so it makes it much easier to get things done, to actually network and make some things happen. If you want to pull some things together because you have an idea for something, then it's smart to plant yourself in that particular, ground, in that location, because you're just going to thrive. You're going to grow, and don't give up. Just keep at it. Just keep believing that things are going to work out for you, and they will, I feel like so many people move to LA and then or even let's say New York or any place, right, where they feel like, okay, I have my opportunity there, so let me move there because there's an opportunity. And they go and it's just like, oh, it didn't work out like I thought. And it's just like, come on. You gave up too soon. You have to really believe in yourself, and keep going until you get whatever it is you want to achieve, So that's the best advice that I can give. But thank you guys for watching, and I'm about to go ahead and end this vlog. And I don't know, feel free if you guys have any questions, I'll probably come back and respond to questions if you guys have any more. But share this video and go onto my channel and make sure you subscribe to my channel at Author D Leach. My channel's name is Danny's World, so make sure you stop by there and subscribe and share this video with all of your friends and all of your family in case they want to learn about LA and what it's like. I told you guys the truth, and you guys, they can hear it from me, straight from me. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And it's been 2 years since I've been in LA. Woohoo. I'm so excited. All right. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.